Buongiorno, welcome back to the Italian campaign. Yeah, I'm back home again from a little vacation, so I haven't played for a couple of days now. Let's see, where are we at? Conquest of southern Egypt. Yeah, that's right. And it looks like I already sent some ships going there, and yeah, I sent some ships around trying to get some battles happening with the Japanese and the British. So let's see if that does happen in April of 1961. Well, I guess that happened. We now have peace with the Empire of Japan. So let's see, 6.6 billion. Yeah. Oh wow, the Korea regions are very, very expensive. I cannot get those, but I can get some other stuff. So, sure. How about some ships? How about some Japanese ships? I have no idea what any of these actually are. I know the deities are quite good. They're the really fast ones. Guess I can pick up some of those. I mean, they're not that costly, so I can get quite a few of those. Their battleships are also really inexpensive. That's a very expensive heavy cruiser, though. Shikaku, sure. I'll take that. It's just too bad it doesn't show me anything which class it is, or how fast, or what kind of guns it has. I know their light cruisers were... I don't think they were very good. I think I commented on them being not bad for the price, but I still don't think they were very good. See, they got some heavy cruisers too. The 1.4 billion one, I think that's the one with all the 10-inch guns. It's not bad per se, but... yeah, 1.4 billion, that means I can't get much of anything else. So instead of getting that one, I'm just gonna take two other battlecruisers. And then it looks like, yeah, we're gonna do some more refit designs. Yeah, sure. Let's go with this. There's a lot of new ships to my fleet. Oh, no, that's the super slow dreadnought type ship. I thought it was one of the more modern battleships they had. And it's even broken. It's being repaired. But the DDs are good, so that's something. They're good torpedo platforms. Also, I got Weihaiwei, Tonga, Kazakhstan, and North Sakhalin. So that's something. Adatusa strike support, but she doesn't get a actual battle. Scotland wants to buy some more DDs. Sure. Let's see if I can get some something going with this British battlecruiser that I've been trying to catch. Let's see. So, Japan out of the war. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get to fight any of these fleets here. I guess that means these guys get to go into a port somewhere. Probably Singapore, yeah? Yeah. What do we have here? corrector, you belong in La Spezia. No, you're still being repaired. Well, I thought it was finished. Okay. It looked like it was finished here. Damage 0. It's 99%. It's a rounding error. Gotta finish up the last coat of paint before I can send her home to port. Fine then, we're sending out... Oh, not you, we're actually just sending out a DD. Il Tempo Gigante, you can go to that port. In fact, most of this division here can go home to Livorno. Not the battlecruisers. Come on. Well, one of the battlecruisers, the Patrona. And I guess the San Giovanni's. And some of the DDs. The Antonio Cassino class. They can go home to Livorno. And that's 4 DDs. And that's 3 remaining here. Okay, fine. That is now at 100%. And I'm hoping that's going to generate a strike mission here against Hurghada. Because that would actually be a battle. So I now have way. That could be that could cost me a lot of transports if I were to go to war with Japan again. Because, well, yeah, they control the Yellow Sea and East Asia. But Kazakhstan being mine is pretty good, because now, finally, Mongolia is connected to the rest of my empire. Just too bad I couldn't get Siberian Russia, too. Anyway, let's see my finances. Yeah, overcapacity by quite a bit, but I think that situation should improve in a couple of months, I guess. Yeah, corrector, 1 month remaining. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And also, they kind of got sent all around. Kamoi class battlecruiser, and Shokaku class battleship, and Nenohi class DD. Let's just do the refit designs now, because why not? Okay, here we got the Nenohi class DD. It is pretty good. What I like the most about it is that it's got insane speed at a very affordable cost. Only 241 million. That is, well, you could get 3 of these for the cost of one of my latest ones. So, now what to do with it? I think these, I can keep these 1.8-inch guns, I think. I want to remove that twin gun, because it's kind of in the way for what I want to be doing. Move the rear tower a bit. What kind of main tower do we have? Modern Tower 5. Yeah, replacing it wouldn't be that much of a not that much of an improvement. Okay, now what can we do? Go down through anti-flood 2. The difference between 2 and 3, not that great. And a double bottom. Don't save that much, but I'm trying to save a little bit of weight here. Down to shaft 2. Electric 2. I'm just trying to make it a little bit lighter. I can cut down the range too. Cramped is fine. I do want slightly better auxiliary engine, even though that does cost me a little bit of weight. Might just keep the standard bulkheads. Now let's see what do we have here. Gonna drop the radar. It doesn't have any depth charges. That's fine. Coincidence rangefinder. That's also fine. Gonna save some weight by doing that. We got cap ballistic HE, cap ballistic AP. I'm gonna go semi-ballistic and incendiary. Also tube powder 3. What kind of range and accuracy numbers are we getting now? 6-second reload, that's not bad. .9 inches of armor, also not bad. Let's see. 35 caliber. If I can make them 40 caliber, how much heavier will they be then? Not that much of a weight difference. They don't weigh that much. What kind of accuracy are we getting now? Well, still usable accuracy out to their max range. Let's give them heavy shells. Also TNT 4 to make them a little bit more powerful. Flash fire tiles is 0.6. That's not bad. If I make them 43 knots, that's a somewhat of a weight difference. So I'm just going to keep them at 42.7. That's still that's still a lot. The armor is maxed out most places. Now, what I want to do, angle funnel 2, is that it's not the best funnel, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's a good option. I want to see if I can fit another turret. There we go. A little bit more firepower. Can't hurt. And I also want to see if I can make them a little bit bigger. Bore them out, so to speak. Yeah, they can now deal with the enemy deities that have 0.9 inches of armor out to quite a good range, because that's kind of what my own deities have been struggling with. They can outscore pens with their semi-armor piercing against DDs and light cruisers that have even a tiny bit of armor, so they have to rely on their incendiary shells that do quite a lot of damage in just raw numbers, but fail to quickly sink their opposition. Let's go with oxygen torps. And can I make them 22 inch? Not possible. 24 inch, how much overweight are we then? Quite a lot. We're just gonna keep them 21 inch. Damage 40,000. Range 21.6. If they were 24 inch, 23.7 now, and 49,000 damage. Not that much of a difference in damage, but just a little bit more range. I don't have to save that much weight to make 22 inch torpedoes work. That's not a lot of weight savings needed to be saved. In fact, if I just drop those two, I'm already getting closer to my goal here. 79 tons. I don't have 1.8 inch guns. What are you talking about? There we go. That's the right caliber. Let's reduce those to 5.7 inch. If I just make them 5. Where's the okay, we're at 1933 tons. 2933, I mean. 2949. 64. Boom, 80. That's still pretty much good enough. 1 inch at 10,000 meters for 5.6. Yeah, we can make that work. Then up the rate of fire. I'm going to auto 2. 7.2 second reload. They started out at 6 seconds before I lengthened the barrels a little bit and made them bigger. I want super heavy shells. Yeah, sure. 1.4 inches at 5,000 meters. That's not bad. Flashfire challenge 1%. That's not bad either. Let's see, what more can we do? Make them just a little bit more... No. Not a little bit more survivable. Didn't like that at all. How about going back up to anti-flood 3? No. Shaft 3? Well, almost. It almost worked. Yeah, I think it's as good as it can be here. Like, realistically, yeah. Let's just save the design for one very affordable DD class, and it's only gonna take 1 month to refit it, so it's a pretty good refit design, I think. Alright, so the Nanohi class DD was a pretty good design that I made just a little bit better. This is some kind of horrible disaster that I'm not sure if I can even salvage. but you know, why not? Why not give it a try? That's terrible. I'm surprised I didn't see these just on low fuel all the time. This is oh well. Are we just gonna take everything off and start over again? I think we might just have to. I can keep the casemates. They're cool. Yeah, this is all of that junk. Go away. 17.2, 51 caliber. Let's move it a little bit further back. Now, I'm lucky it already has a barbette, because if it didn't, I would not be able to put a barbette here during a refit, because the game would tell me it's just, no, it's too far away from its original place. But hopefully I can replace it with a barbette that at least almost looks like it's the right size for the turret. That was a big barbette. It still looked kind of small. The huge one isn't even available. How about an extra tall barbette? It's the biggest I can get. Yeah, it kind of works. Just gonna turn the barbette around. These little wings don't get in the way of the A turret. We're just gonna do the same here. That's quite a heavy armament for a battleship, but I figure, well, it's what it had. Okay, I think we're gonna go with the big one here, though. It's got a bunch of greebles on the back. So I think, you know, it's just gonna have the wings on there instead, because otherwise I can't put it closer to this step. There we go. That's the main armament laid out. And what to do here? I just cannot have a battleship with a top speed of 16.2 knots. That just will not work. I suppose this is going to the invasion fleet, where there are quite a few slow battleships already, so sure. I'm gonna give it a little bit more draft for sure. Means these just have to be placed down again. Why don't you fit now? Okay. Guess I will go with the extra tall barbette. Because I guess now it didn't clear the ledge there. There. Happy now? There's just so much weirdness going on. Let's go with turbo electric drive. Let's reduce the auxiliary engine a little bit. And the shaft. And the steering, also a lighter option. We need at least a double hull bottom. Citadel 5. Capitalistic, capitalistic, that is okay, that's fine. What's the actual accuracy here? Quite terrible. Because the muzzle velocities are all terrible, like too high. Give it tube powder on TNT 4. Suddenly we actually get some accuracy out to its max range, but it's still not good. Reduced shells, that's not gonna work for me. I keep running out of ammo as it is, even with increased ammo most places. The barrel length is already minus 4%, and it's at 51 caliber. If it was base length, it would be 53 caliber. So even with a reduced barrel length, the Cordite 2, which is just one of many options here, gave it too much muzzle velocity with super heavy shells, I might add, so that the accuracy just went to 0 past a certain range. Let's see, what was it? Yeah, the HE range is supposed to be 62.4 kilometers, but past 40,000 meters you get a 0% accuracy at that range with HE, because it's got a muzzle velocity of yeah, 1200 meters, which isn't really that high. I mean, if you compare that to a modern tank gun, it's even on the low side. Turret armor, we can reduce this. 21, 19 maybe. Let's keep 10 on the turret roofs. But yeah, we're gonna reduce this this barrel length. Not on the 8-inch guns though, they're gonna be baseline 45 caliber. Even gonna make them 8.5s. If I make that minus 8% barrel length, that's gonna save some weight. Still tells me it's a 51 caliber gun, which I know is incorrect. Minus 10%. Okay, it gives me more useful accuracy out to most combat ranges. Yeah, I don't have the excess of 60 kilometer max range, but I don't really need that anyway. So, with that said, let's find a tower for this. Modern Tower 3 Enhanced. Or Enhanced Pagoda Tower 3. I mean, this looks more Japanese, and it is a captured Japanese ship, so that makes sense to me. And I want to have a tower like this also. How about a funnel? I want to keep this looking Japanese. I'm gonna go with this, or something more like this. We are way overweight now. I mean, no wonder, right, with this many 17-inch guns. Yeah, we are way overweight. How about we drop the 17s for something a little bit more sensible? Yeah, the refit time is already way out of whack, so that not really. Can I just put this turret here and just remove that barbette? I guess I can. Save a little bit of weight. No, we now have a 4-weight offset. So, put the barbette back. Just move everything here a little bit further back. And I want to find room for some too far from previous place. Oh yeah, that's right. Can't go further back than that because it's a refit. Even though too far from previous place doesn't even make sense, seeing as it's a new gun, it didn't have a previous place, but there we go. Top armor 0. What are you on about, game? 19-inch side, 18 barbette, 10 turret roof. There we go. Still a little bit of a 4-weight offset, but can remove the foremost 8-inch gun, because what I want to do, get some secondary turrets on here. Oh, that doesn't fit. What fits there then? No, nothing. Okay. So I guess we're not gonna have a secondary turret down there. Unless I just place it on the deck and magically it fits. It's gonna be an 8-inch gun. There we go, it works. Yeah, that works. Fine. Fine. I guess it's also got to be an 8.5-inch gun to match the casemates with a 45 caliber length barrel. I can just move the funnel up a fraction of an inch or something. One tiny pixel. Just too bad I couldn't find a barbette to mount this on. There we go. That works. Poor sector of fire. I believe that is a lie. Looks like everything here has good sectors of fire. Oh, I can even place 4-inch guns here. They don't look like they fit. But apparently they do. That's got to be enough of that. Some of these 3-inch guns too. That looks more like it. Like it's supposed to be there. Ah, that's enough. I don't need them. Just some 4-inch guns to make it look a little bit more more populated on here. Now then, the armor. Let's drop the radio. Don't need that. The armor, which it doesn't have currently. It needs to have some of that armor stuff. I hear it's quite handy to have. So, main belt. Let's go with 16. It didn't weigh that much, because it is kind of like a dreadnought type ship. For an aft deck, we can actually reduce that. It doesn't cover much of the ship anyway, but it don't need to be that thick. Main deck needs to exist. Superstructure also needs to exist. And of course the inner belts. Let's give it a actually let's give it a 2.5 inch third inner belt. And a 1 inch third inner deck. That's quite nice. So we are 5% overweight. You can reduce the top speed down to 21 knots. And still let it keep pace with most of the invasion fleet's battleships. Can narrow the beam a little bit. I don't want to narrow it too much, because then suddenly things don't fit anymore, but there we go. Barbette 5, 0.6% flash fire chance. If I reduce that to Barbette 3, that's a 1.4%. That's still not bad. Anti-torp 2 is quite horrible. It should ideally be more than that. Let's see, you got 134%. 134.9 resistance. That's not really amazing. If that was maxed out to anti-torp 5 and triple bottom, which I know will not work, 140. That's still not epic. So let's just keep it at 134 and just accept that this will be vulnerable to torpedoes. Can go down to a 5-inch main deck. Still the third inner deck. That's going to be providing the final answer to large caliber plunging fire. Anyway, and a 15-inch main belt. And 4-inch barbette top for the 8.5-inch turrets. Casemate armor. Oh yeah, that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight being being spent on something. There we go. Suddenly things work. Yeah, that's where my displacement went. Very thick tops on the casemates. Unnecessarily thick. Does that mean I can increase my speed back up to 23 knots? Well, almost. Let's say 22 and be happy with that. And let's save the refit. And that is my new captured Japanese battleship. It's still not very good, but it's less terrible than it used to be. And well, if I was disappointed when I saw the battleship I got was an old dreadnought type battleship and not a modern battleship, I'm doubly disappointed now when I get this thing. I thought it was going to be one of those really fancy looking battlecruisers that the Japanese have access to, and I know they had some at some point because I know I sunk some. that you can easily make to more than 40 knots top speed. But this ain't one of those. And the displacement is almost down at the minimum, so the hull size isn't even maxed out. Now let's see, what can we do with this? It already has gas turbines. That's good. And we're just gonna make this thing from the bottom up again. Let's not give it a reduced draft that much. It'll just sink easily. 13.2 inch guns, 55 caliber length. Let's keep the beam at 0 too. Speed 35 knots, is that doable? I mean, is it doable to make this a 39 knot battlecruiser? It looks like it is. That looks like it's doable. Anti-torp 5, we don't need that. I'd rather go anti-torp 3 and triple hull bottom. Let's see, what kind of tower do we have? It's a modern tower too. It's not bad. I just would like to have the pagoda tower instead, because it looks very recognizable Japanese. As for the guns, let's just remove the towers and the secondaries for now. Extra tall superimposed barbette. And as for the guns, I want to upgun it a little bit. What I know I need more battlecruisers with 16-inch guns. Okay, that won't fit there. Will it fit now? Yes, barely. More battlecruisers with 16-inch guns that can actually fight enemy battleships. So that's what we're gonna do with this. It's also gonna have that pagoda tower. Just too bad the hull. I think this hull is not terrible. I think it's actually what is unfittingly named the modern battlecruiser for the Japanese. It's actually not horrible. You can make this a 55,000 ton battlecruiser, but it's clearly one of the default hulls that pretty much every navy has access to. It's identical to my Donzella and Bastarda class battlecruiser hulls, and well, the similar ones that everyone else has. So it is just not very interesting. I put the American the Iowa class rear tower, because why not? Do I have any funnels that fit on this? Of course I don't. No. Yeah, just give me an American secondary tower with no American funnels to go with it. That's neat. How about this secondary tower? Do I have a funnel for it? No, not even the smallest one. Not even the smallest one fits. I can put this big chonking funnel here and just go with the no, that won't even fit. Go with the boring rear tower then. Sure. Sure enough, that's what we're doing. But hey, I got 2 of these, so might as well put them to use, right? And if I'm gonna put them to use, they need to at least be decent. Not that there's that much left of the campaign anyway, but... let's go down to shaft 2. And the range is even terrible. Need to bump that up. In fact, let's drop the speed. 36.5. 37.2. That's not much of a weight difference. So I'm going to keep it at 39. That will not fit there. It will fit here. I can put a standard one back here. Because the X turret is already like on a step down on the hull. What kind of secondaries are we going for? Are we just going to pretend all the ships I took from the Japanese had 8-inch secondaries? No. I think we're going to go with the slightly more traditional 6-inch secondaries. Like so. Yeah, decent arcs of fire. Poor sector of fire again. It tells me, but none of these have poor sectors of fire. I checked them all. They're good. Super heavy shells. Cap ballistic 2. And cap ballistic. Yeah, I still don't think I like this. Let's go with stereoscopic. Let's drop the radio. But at least here we have the option to save some weight in the armoring of this thing. Let's go with the 7 fore and aft belt. That's quite thick. And 7 main deck. Superstructure, we can reduce that. 4 is still very thick. The main guns have a need of more armor. Quite a lot more armor. Now we are overweight. Because main gun armor weighs a lot. Like, there's no real explanation for it, but it just weighs a lot. Turret top armor, 8-inch. It's not even that thick. Let's go down to 16-15 for the main gun turrets. How much does a 15-inch belt weigh on this? I mean, not that much considering how much of the ship it would cover, but there we go. Now, inner belts. .9 inner belt. Let's make it equal to 2, equal to 20. That should keep my citadel safe. It's equal to 5. That's less than the actual main deck. If I can bump it up to equal to 1, well, equal to 10. because the penetrating power of a shell would be reduced by 90%. So if it had 10 inches of deck penetration, that would be reduced to 1 inch by the time it hits this 1 inch inner deck. Let's see, 6-inch guns. 4-inch top. 3.6, this is the maximum for the barbette. And 7.7 maximum for the turret sides. That's okay. Now, let's go about saving some weight here. Yeah, this time it's actually actively updating the barrel length. .47. Let's turn them down to 45s. There we go. That does save quite a little bit of weight, and it actually improves the performance by lowering the muzzle velocity, which the game has decided makes the gun more accurate. So there we go. What is my flash fire tolerance now? 2.1. That's not bad. I think I can keep it at that. I can actually just improve that just a little bit. 1.6. Now we're gonna give it TNT 4, make the guns a little bit more powerful, but also decrease a little bit of weight. Minus 2% hull weight. Well, 0.1%, 0.5%. Excuse me, 0.5% lighter than with TNT 3. So that's something. That's a little improvement there. I'm not happy with this top armor on the main gun turrets. 9 is still possible. Let's play more with the secondary armament. Well, the 4-inch turrets don't fit there. Not even the 3-inch turrets? Come on. What's that place for then? A single barrel 2-inch will fit. Yeah, that's kind of useless. I think I'm just gonna keep it at that. And I think we have our ship. Can I increase the range a little bit? No? So I can just increase it by tiny steps. Anything else I can do? Better shaft? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Can I max it out? Not quite. It's not much of a... do get some better acceleration and turn rate on ship repairs. I typically don't go higher than shaft 2, just because of the added hull weight. I don't just rarely find the bonuses to be worth it. Can I go anti-torp 4? No, definitely not. Alright, that's the battlecruiser. Also kind of a disappointing little thing, but hey, it could having 2 of these in service could allow me to take some of the Donzellas out of frontline service. Put them in the invasion fleet. Because this would still be an upgrade over those. Not sure if... well, probably better than the Bastardos in many ways. At least faster. So there we go. Some more captured ship designs. Refit to make them a little bit more viable. At least almost. Well, the DDs were, as I said, quite good from the start. Just did some minor adjustments on them. So there we go. That was that. Now let's go to the next month and see if we get any battles. Not that likely, seeing as we're only fighting the British at the moment. How many places are we invading now with the armies? Northern India and Pakistan. And also Southern Rhodesia. I think I'm just going to keep the war going until I get Northern India and Pakistan. Where are you headed? Battlecruiser. Battlecruiser of British persuasion. Ship will arrive in 3 turns. Why? Are you low on fuel? Or just slow? And that's fine. Hopefully we're gonna get some kind of a battle there. Where's this battlecruiser headed? Here. Come on. Can I just... There's my battlecruiser. And it was headed right here. Let's intercept. And finally get a battle, hopefully. And, well, hopefully something is going to happen here also. In Hurghada. They have a lot of stuff in Kuwait. That would be fun to fight. Alright, let's see what happens. And I have taken Pakistan and northern India. So let's try and get this this unrest down a little bit by sinking 2 DDs. And hopefully not lose a DD. Alright. And Sindioso is bouncing a little bit. The bouncing has gone under control, I think. Yeah. It's just for the start of the battle they like to do that. Ever since the patch where they introduced new weather mechanics. Oh, you're hitting me? Stop that. Let's get some torps in the water. Probably not gonna hit much, but... maybe. No. Not anything. Definitely not gonna hit anything. How about AP? Is that gonna work? I forget if these Vesper class DDs had any armor. I think they've got 0.9 inches, like so many others. There we go, Plover, 0.9, yes. Exact same armor scheme as those Japanese DDs we just took. There's the enemy torpedoes. Clover has her funnel out. These are quite fast, 38.1 knots. Only 19-inch torpedoes though. Not that it matters in a DD on DD fight. Wave. Just launched a wave of torpedoes. I'm taking flooding. I got 4.8-inch guns. I'm taking more flooding through the aft belt. My rudder is also out. That is not good at all. So I think my best option here is to just get closer, close enough that my my guns can penetrate them, which means within 2,000 meters. Because if I can start putting AP shells through their armor, they should start going down quite rapidly. Let's see if I can even get close enough with my radar out. They've taken hit point damage from HE, but that hasn't really reduced their maneuverability to any real extent. And I just keep taking more flooding damage. What kind of pen do they actually have? What kind of shells do they have? Capitalistic 2 AP. Yeah. Yeah, no, they can go through my armor as well. And there. Insidio sinks. Yeah, I really need to start refitting these DDs and give them bigger guns and better AP. And the AI keeps building DDs with 0.9 inches of armor all over. Okay, so that didn't quite go to plan with the DD. Let's see what more I can do here. Is this battlecruiser still underway? If I can just actually hover over... Oh, it's a light cruiser. That's the battlecruiser. It's still underway. Can I send out something to fight this light cruiser? Yes, I can. How about a Venezia class? 1950 refit. Yes. Partenope, I think we've seen her before, but not in a good while now. General Antonio Casino class DD. I got the same basic 5-inch guns though. How about sending out something a little bit bigger to take on these two DDs? Like the Duca, the Ulster class, the light cruiser. You know, if 5-inch guns don't do the trick, maybe some 6-inch guns will. What do we have here? We're actually progressing the invasion of southern England. That is interesting. And we got also a DD here. Let's send you out too. Get a couple more battles in before we end this episode. Still no strike mission versus this port here. Okay. I really hoped we'd get something going. And we are winning. Yeah, sure. The strike mission is on this little port here. Doesn't even give me a battle. No, 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 no. That's not what was supposed to happen. My light cruiser was supposed to fight these DDs, and then I was going to send out a battlecruiser to fight the Tiger, which is here. Those are still the DDs. The Tiger is here and underway. I mean, why? Why can't it just give me the battles I want to have? I gained southern Egypt. I'm gonna send this light cruiser home, I guess. Or to here. And then I was gonna send out the where did she go? She teleported here, Il Tempo Gigante, out to fight the battlecruiser, which will now link up with the two DDs, I guess. But we'll see if that actually happens. Now that there's I agreed to the peace treaty with Britain. Why is there so many ships in Port Said? Okay. Alexandria then. What do I have in... okay, that's one of the Japanese ones. And these are... the Geo Scotty class, plus a bunch of heavy cruisers. I can send them back to the Caribbean. There. Well, let's see if I can get this meeting before the war actually ends. No, I guess not. There we go, peace. With no extra battles. So, well, that's still 11 billion worth of peace treaty. And I don't really know much about these battlecruisers because I didn't get to fight them. But I think they were quite bad, probably. They were slow at least. So, I don't think I'm going to take any of them. Let's just take as much country as possible. I want to take the rest of India. Western India, Eastern India, Bangladesh. Let's see. New Zealand? Sure. German New Guinea, yes. Jamaica. Bermuda, Cook. I'm just gonna pick something. Some of these provinces are really, really inexpensive. And that's the Falklands, right? I think, maybe. There we go. That's a lot of provinces taken. It was 13, went from 187 to 200 provinces controlled. So, that's not bad. Now, Greece. Oh, it actually popped up. Wow. And I had agreed to that so many times. I got West Greenland. I did not get Eastern India. I guess that's also Eastern India. And Northeast Frontier. I would have liked to have those two. But there we go. That's most of India taken though. That is something. Did I get a battle here? I guess not. I guess that battlecruiser also just avoided me somehow. Yeah, here it is. I mean, how can they avoid? Because the one I saw, I almost got in a battle with my light cruiser. It had top speed of 26 knots. My Sanita class battlecruiser here has top speed of 41 knots. That doesn't really, does not really add up with my math. I'm not the greatest at math, but I'm pretty sure 41 is greater than 26. So I'm not sure how it's supposed to have escaped. You can send the Il Tempo here. Now, probably just gonna play a little bit off camera until I get a new war going, which it should be possible now that all nations, all the 4 remaining AI nations, kind of dislike me after having fought so recently. Oh no, Britain, your GDP. There's nothing left of it. Because I took most of your colonies. I'm still lagging behind Japan and Germany though. Not by much, but by a little bit. And their economies are actually shrinking despite no longer being at war. I guess they suffered transport losses, maybe? Or was it just because I took some of their land? I don't think I took a lot of land from Germany. Anyway, that's it for now. Goodbye, and take care.